I'm going to continue the conversation on the camera, a bit of a new style. A conversation was having with a friend, and it's all about how to achieve your goals. And the advice I'm going to give you is not waffle. It's not stuff I went on Google. It's coming from my own life. It's real experience, and I'm going to mention a few names, a couple of mentors that I've learned from. They've spoken about it, and I'm going to quote Jeff Thompson because I don't like to take people's stuff and make it like it's my own. So I'm using some of Jeff's ideas, but the experiences from myself. So Jeff always talks about having a strong purpose, and he always says something he spoke about is when guys say stuff like, I want to go out and I want to achieve success of women. I want to get good at meeting women on the street, or I want to start a business, or maybe you're like myself. Let me see how long ago. I think it was around about 3 or 4 years ago when I was watching a couple of the top name dating coaches. And I'm just going to be completely honest, and I don't care if people get offended. And I wanted to be in their position because I really admired what they did. But I was hungry, I was really motivated, and I was in a really shit place, living in conditions that are not great, and I was in a very bad place mentally. And it's only now I can look back and I can actually give this advice and feel good about giving it. I had such a strong purpose. I was so dedicated. I was just saying to Danny, we were talking about, what it takes to go out and get good at meeting women on the street, the sort of practice, the sort of the hours. I had such a strong purpose. No one fucking believed in me, honestly, and that's fine. I'm not upset with anyone. And that was because, like Jeff says, and Jeff talks about a guy called, I believe his name is Viktor Franklin, and Viktor Franklin was in the worst conditions you could imagine. He was in, he was in, I don't know, what's the word? I'm trying to word it right. Yeah, he was in the camps, in the basically the place that Hitler had organised, those horrible camps. People were dying, getting tortured. This was the worst conditions that a man could live in. But he survived it. He wrote a book about it. I think he was a top psychologist. He inspired people all around the world. And what he said most people don't survive in bad conditions because they ain't got a strong purpose. But because he had such a strong purpose, because he had a few pages from, I think from the Bible, he started to read it, and a voice came into his head, and he said that it's no point me reading it. It's no point free. I've got to live it. I've got to apply it in a place like this where it's horrible, it's horrendous, people are getting killed and so forth. Sorry to use such an extreme analogy for going out and meeting women, but it's going to help you. And he survived it, and he got through conditions where people were dying every day. So I'm not saying I did that, but I'm going to say that I was in a very negative mindset. I was living in an area where occasionally people were getting killed every week. People were getting stabbed and shot and stuff like that. People were dealing drugs. It was very normal. And I was sitting in my little room on my laptop looking at some of the top dating coaches in the world, really looking up to them and just thinking, this is where I want to be. I want to be teaching, I want to be helping people, and I know I've got the ability to do it. No one knows who I am right now. I'm a nobody. No one knows who Johnny Berba is. But I know I've got value. I know I've got the skill to do it. I know I can help people. How do I know it? Because it's something deep in me. It's a strong purpose I have, and I've just got to get out and put the practice in. So having a purpose will make you go through the pain. It will make you put the hours in. Because to be honest, sometimes you just get tired of people making excuses, saying I don't have the time, or I don't want to go out and put the hours in. Well, don't talk about it. I'm going to be hard on you. If you don't want to put the time in, you shouldn't want to be in someone else's position or to get to their level. So I can replace the purpose with having a passion. My passion was overcoming social anxiety. That's why I put out the anxiety program. I didn't just put it out because I wanted to make money. Of course, I run a business and I have to make a living, but I put it out because it's something I was passionate about. It was something that I had problems with to start with. And my anxiety, it started by just going online, just seeing people that were successful made me anxious. Not because I was particularly jealous of them, because I admired what they'd done, and the thought of me trying to do it gave me loads of fear. But having a purpose made me do all these things. Sometimes, I was even saying to Danny, I read the comments, they're very flattering, and I think to myself, fucking hell, how have I achieved this? A guy living in a council flat in bad conditions and now having a massive following on YouTube and being able to inspire others. It was a strong purpose. It really made me put the practice in. Then of course the purpose will start forming into other areas, and it won't be so doom and gloom. You won't be out every day like, oh, I'm on my purpose, I've got to do this. You'll have fun with it. You'll kind of forget you're on your purpose. You'll be in such deep momentum through practice, you won't even realise you're doing it. It's like being on a crazy ride or a crazy trip. not that I've ever taken one. You come off it and then you're like, fuck, that's amazing. I can't believe I've done that. I can't believe I've helped this many people. You know, I can't believe I've gone from having a small income and working for someone to being my own boss and to having a substantial income that I'm happy with, I can survive on, I can pay my bills, I can do some traveling. And like I always say, most of my income goes back into my business. It goes back into helping people. So when people say stuff like, oh, you know, dating coaches are just greedy, they just want to make money, they're just trying to rip people off. Most of the time, that's not true in my experience. I've met a lot of them. They're really compassionate people, they're really caring, they want to help people. But of course they want to make a living, and that's the same for everyone. But the thing is, they've got a strong purpose, and that's to serve people, that's to help people. And what I'm going to do is, in the box below, I'm going to leave one of Jeff's videos, so you can click the link and you can get a much more better perspective on Jeff talking about his purpose and what it's done for him and what I've learned from him. He's one of my mentors, so that's what I've learned from Jeff. But now I'm going to switch over and I'm going to talk about what you need to go out and specifically get good on the street. So I'm not concerned with the nighttime stuff. I'm just going to talk about the street. You need a strong purpose. You need to put the hours in. I don't know anyone who's got good at going out on the street meeting women who don't put the hours in. If they've got good, it's because they're a natural. Then of course they don't really need the advice I'm giving. Maybe they could benefit from some of it. You need time on your hands, you need purpose, you need commitment. If you're not committed, forget about it, you're not going to get the results. Yeah, you can get lucky, you can get laid here and there, but you're not truly going to make the transformation. I'm not talking about getting laid for some drunk girl who's coming back from a club and doesn't really know much about who you are. I'm talking about making changes where you're socially comfortable in most situations, you're able to go out, make it happen like that effortlessly. I was saying to Danny, whenever I've usually got laid from the street and dating girls, it's usually been effortless. But you know what it's come from? It's come from all of the hours, all the practice. It's come from all of the meaty stuff, and that's just been that's just been a bonus. That's just coming from all of the work. And of course, someone sees that and goes, "Oh, he's amazing!" Like. They see the marketing too much. They go, he just walks up to girls and sleeps with every girl. Of course, that's not true. That's because I put the work in. And I've seen it with students. I remember an Irish guy I was teaching, I wouldn't mention his name. When he first came to me, you won't mind me saying this, he was really bad. I don't mind saying that. He was one of the most struggling students I've ever had. Now he's amazing. He could definitely teach boot camps. There's no doubt about it. He got laid several times on the street. One was with a Korean girl that he was in a relationship for 2 years. This man was dedicated. Even I was thinking, I don't know if I can help this guy, I'm being honest. At the time, my skills as a coach were not as good as they are now. I wasn't as experienced, but he was so purposeful, it made me passionate. Boy, did he prove me wrong. He was just going on dates all the time. And I seen him the other day and he was out still doing it, and he said, yeah, he's not in a relationship no more, he's out and he wants some more. This man is fucking dedicated. These are the type of students that teach me. So having a strong purpose is where it's at. That will get you through hell, basically. So stuff like rejection, girls not texting you back, getting dumps, a strong purpose will always overcome that. Remember, I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking out my arse. I'm not talking from the perspective of just trying to sell a product to make loads of money. I'm talking through someone who's done it. I've overcome low self-esteem. I've overcome social anxiety. I've overcome several long-term breakups when the girls dumped me. I've overcome adversity, being told by friends, being told by even the benefit system that, Jonathan, you're only good to work for £7 an hour, £6 an hour. You can't start your own business, or you can't be a boxer. You're not even good enough to work as a bouncer or a security guard at the time in a nightclub. You need to go and wash dishes and work as a chef, and I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying this was the information that was given to me. That's all that people ever said to me. You're no good. You're not good enough. You're only good enough for £6 an hour. That's not true now, because I've quadrupled my income. I'm worth a lot more than an hour, and that's not because I'm better than anyone else. That's because I realised what my potential was. I'm still on the path, I'm still learning, and I had a strong purpose. Wanted to get good at teaching this stuff. I almost said pick up, I almost slipped, didn't I? I wanted to get good at teaching this, and I knew that I could change lives all around the world. And I know I'm good at what I do because I've done it, and I've got the proof there. So hopefully, if you've got any doubts, which you will have, if you've got a strong purpose, you can do that. Last thing I'm going to leave you is, what really helped me was, you're going to teach yourself. Yeah, you can hire someone, you can take a boot camp. Boot camps have got a massive effect on people. You've seen on my YouTube channel. You can take one-on-one coaching, it's fantastic. If you're not committed before the coaching and after, you're not going to get the results. And I tell guys all the time, you can achieve this without my help. You can do it without my coaching. If you come to me, it's going to be quicker, it's going to be faster. You're probably going to have a better experience initially, because I'm a super positive guy. I know how to transfer that. But I think if you weren't to take coaching with someone and you went out and you said, right, I'm dedicating 1 year to going out practicing on the street, you're going to be amazing. You're probably going to get to a level where you can teach and you can start your own business and you can be doing videos like I'm doing. And I know that's going to tickle you, it's going to tease you, and it's going to make you want to do it. That's the reality. Some of the big names now, and again, if I offend someone, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. I'm up there with some of the big names, and I know it because I've put the stuff out, I've shown the level of skill I've got, and I've taught it through my students. And that's from someone that was told I couldn't do it, I wasn't good enough, I was only worth £6 an hour. And of course now I've changed that. So what you feel you're worth and what your purpose is different, because what you feel you're worth could be £5 an hour, but your purpose is worth £100 an hour, £200 an hour, because people will pay you once you have that sort of value and you believe it. So this is what's going to happen when you go out, and I know this is going to motivate you. When you go out, you learn through trial and error. Trial and error is usually the best teacher. The only thing I don't like about trial and error, this is where I will say a coach does help, is you don't have someone to give you the feedback. You are literally getting massive amounts of information and you're nitpicking what's working and what's not working. When you've obviously got a coach, you can say, well, that works, that don't, and then you can philosophize between each other and you can get a game plan down and you can shrink that information. But again, from another perspective, I loved going out there and being a Mr. Know-It-all, having people go to me, Johnny, you shouldn't be stopping girls like that. And I'm like, why not? Because that guy doesn't do it, who's successful. But I'm not that fucking guy. I'm this guy, and you're this guy, and you're that guy. So what works for one doesn't work for another. Your way's not my way. As Bruce Lee said, using no way as the way, and adding, fit what works for you and adding what doesn't. So being bloody-minded, being stubborn, being purposeful, going out, having no one tell you that you can't do it, finding your own way will get you there. Like and subscribe, enjoy the process, and be purposeful. Bye.